Hi everybody, welcome to the Great Outdoors Show. I'm your host, Bob Ide. This week we're at Lake New Angola and we're going to try stand-up paddleboard yoga with a special instructor. Amanda Kuhl and Aaron Dugan are here from Fox 56 Sports. They'll join me on the lake a little later on in the show. We want to thank our sponsors, Weaver's Archery in Middleburg and Sickler's Bike and Sport in Clark Summit and Kingston. Time now to get inside the cycling tour with Aaron.
We're here now with Cindy at Sickler's Bike and Sport Shop. And Cindy, let's talk a little bit about these fat bikes. I'm sure people coming in, they get a lot of questions for you about these bikes and their purpose. So tell us all about them.
Well, the fat bikes have been around for quite some time, but they still are a new thing to people. They gained a lot of popularity, I'd say, over the last 5-6 years, and we've seen them make a lot of developments in that time. They initially started for winter riding only, where they would be very popular during the winter months. But over time, because of the bike developments and their versatility, a lot of people now have a fat bike that they use all year round as their main bicycle. The fat tires allow you to go on the trails with a little bit more stability and a little bit ease. You run lower tire pressure where you can roll over things a little bit easier. Some fat bikes come with a front fork, which has like front suspension. Some fat bikes have a solid fork where it's called the rigid fat bike. Still a nice ride. Some people assume that they're very difficult to ride because of the fat tires, but the gearing makes them easier to ride, and you can go up the hills as easy as you can on a regular mountain bike. They descend well, they ride well, they're a lot of fun. They're good for snow, as we talked about, and they're also good for riding when conditions might be sloppy and you have to go exploring on double track or dirt roads, things like that.
Now, I know you had mentioned earlier you have one of these bikes and you ride in the snow. Tell us about that experience. What is that like?
It's a lot of fun. It's different than obviously riding on dry dirt in the prime of summer. When it snows, you have to pay attention to the type of snowfall. If it's a light snow, it could be a little bit slippery, but if it's a heavy snow where you can make some good snowballs out of, that's nice grippy snow. And there are so many fat bikes now in the area that everybody is riding Lackawanna State Park. So those trails get packed down very quickly. So if you have a fat bike, you can go to those trails and you can guarantee that there's going to be a loop packed down because of everybody out there riding.
Okay, so we talked about fat bikes. Let's move on to one of the newest models you have, and that's the 27 Plus. What's that bike all about?
The 27 Plus bike is semi-new to the industry. It's been around for a few years and it's gaining a lot of popularity because it gives you a happy medium from your traditional mountain bike of a 27.5-inch wheel or a 29er wheel with 2.2 tires or 2.4 tires to the fat bike tire, which we talked about, in a fat bike tire being 3.5 inches wide, upwards to 5 inches. So a 27.5 Plus, as they call it, gives you that happy medium where you're able to go on the trails. You still get that nimble feeling of a traditional mountain bike, but you also have some of that plush feeling of what a fat bike would give you also. So they are very popular. We've sold a lot of them and customers are very happy with them, and they have now made that their primary bike. So it's definitely, it's something for everybody. It's not just a fad.
Coming up next on The Great Outdoors, time to see who can paddleboard.